Hello, wonderful listeners. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to today's Civics Education podcast.
So the class level we chose was a standard 2 class and the cycle is a Belizean studies in cycle 2. Our learning objectives is under the topic of civics education and we have two LOs and the first one says observe and differentiate between the selection process of appointing or electing national and local government members. The second one says discuss and create a diagram showing the main functions of the three branches of government. Here, our students will be learning about Belize's history, the past and the present, about our local and national government members, and the three branches of government in the country of Belize. Stay tuned, pay attention, and write down notes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our civics education podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the structure of Belize, its history, and the leaders from the past and the present who have shaped our Belize. I am Adriani Morales, and I am here with Edith, and we are really excited to share valuable and important information for you all.
First of all, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Miss Jenny, for having me here. To understand where Belize is today, we need to go back to our days as British Honduras. In those early years, our government was completely controlled by British colonial authorities. Local Belizeans didn't have voting right at that time, so they couldn't participate in government decisions or laws.
And that is right. Voting back then was only reserved for British citizens who were wealthy landowners, meaning that it was for the British people who were rich. And this excluded a lot of Belizeans. I would say, particularly all Belizeans. It was until the rise of labor unions and political activism in the 1950s that Belizeans began fighting for representation. Mr. Honorable George Cato Price, a central figure in the independence movement and founder of the People's United Party, also known as the PUP, led the push for this change.
Under Price's leadership, Belize gained universal adult suffrage in 1954, which finally allowed all Belizean adults to vote. This was the first step in our journey towards self-governance. Then, in 1964, Belize achieved the self-government, allowing Belizeans to elect representatives in the Legislative Council.
And in the 1981, Belize became fully independent with a new constitution that established our three branches of government sectors, which are the legislative, executive, and judicial. Let's start by breaking down, and let's start with the first one, the legislative branch.
So we have the legislative branch. In Belize is bicameral, meaning it has two parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. The House of Representatives has 31 elected members, each each representing a constituency. The leader of the party with the most seats in the becomes the prime minister. Belize's first prime minister was George Kittle Price, who led the PUP through the independence era. Price was instrumental in shaping Belize's political landscape, including policies and that emphasized social services and national unity.
Today, our Prime Minister is Mr. John Briceño of the PUP. Mr. Briceño, who has a long history in Belizean politics, served in various ministerial positions before becoming Prime Minister in the 2020. As Prime Minister, Mr. Briceño oversees the cabinet, directing national policies and guiding Belize through its economic, social, and environmental changes.
The other part of the legislative branch is the Senate. Initially, during colonial times, the Senate was simply an advisory body. However, it now plays a crucial role in reviewing and debating legislation. Belize's has 13 appointed members. Six are chosen by the Prime Minister, three by the leader of the opposition, and one each by business community, labor unions, and churches, representing diverse groups in Belize.
Okay, so I'm gonna be presenting to you the present members of the Senate. So, first of all, I want you all to know that six members are chosen by the Prime Minister. Three members are appointed on the advice of the leader of the opposition, and the others are chosen by the non-governmental organizations. So I'm gonna start with the first one is Honorable Caroline Trench Sandiford. She is Madam President. Then I'm gonna be mentioning the six that are chosen by the Prime Minister, who are Honorable Amon Courtney, Leader of Government Business. Then we have Honorable Colette Montejo, the Vice President. Then Honorable Isabel Bennett Moody, followed by Christopher Koyi, Minister of State in the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Investment. Then we have Honorable Erica Chang, and then we have Honorable Bevington Call. Then I'm gonna be mentioning right now the three members of the United Democratic Party. The first one is Honorable Michael Perfit, followed by Honorable Mark O'Brien, and lastly, Honorable Antonio Herrera. And now I'm going to be mentioning the four that are chosen by non governmental organizations. The first one is Honorable Kevin Herrera, and he's chosen by the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Belize Business Bureau. Then the other one is Honorable Glenfield Denison, chosen by National Trade Union Congress and the Civil Society Steering Committee. Then Honorable Bishop Alvin Benguche, chosen by Belize Council of Churches and Evangelical Association of Churches. And lastly, we have Honorable General Chanona. Thank you very much.
Leading the Senate is Mrs. Caroline Trench Sandiford, the current president of the Senate. She was appointed by the Senate members and served as a neutral figure who ensures proper procedures during debates and voting sessions. Trench Sandiford is an advocate for transparency and democratic form, with a strong background in urban planning and governance. Her role as president also involves representing the Senate in official functions and guiding discussions to ensure fair and productive debates.
So, moving to the executive branch, this branch is led by the Prime Minister, who appoints cabinet ministers to manage different areas or portfolios. These ministers are essential for putting laws into action. They handle everything from health and education to finance and tourism. Here's a look at a few key ministers. So we have Mr. Francis Fonseca, the Minister of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology, works to shape Belize's education policies, focusing on improving education access and quality. Then we have Mr. Kevin Bernard, the Minister of Health and Wellness, oversees public health programs, a role that has been especially important in recent years with the COVID-19 pandemic. Then we have Mr. Rodolfo Sabido, the Minister of Agriculture, for Security and Enterprise, works on policies to boost food production and support small farmers, which is crucial for Belize's economy.
The Prime Minister's office also includes the Attorney General, currently Magali Marin Young. As Attorney General, Maureen Young serves as the chief legal advisor to the government and helps draft and review legislations to ensure that it aligns with the Belize's laws and constitution.
Lastly, we have the judicial branch, which interprets and enforces laws. Belize's legal system, like many former British colonies, was initially based on British law, with cases that could be appealed to the Privy Council in London. After independence, Belize created a Supreme Court and a Court of Appeal to oversee local cases.
Belize took another step in 2010 by making the Caribbean Court of Justice, that is also known, or the shorter term for its name is the CCJ, its highest court of appeal. This change allowed Belizeans to have cases heard closer to the home and in line with the Caribbean values. The judicial branch is led by the Chief Justice, currently Luis Bellman, who ensures that our court cases align with the Belizean institution.
So, the judicial branch also includes other important figures like Justice of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal, who interpret Belize's laws on issues ranging from civil rights to business disputes. Each justice has a specific area of expertise, helping ensure the Belize's legal system protects the rights of all Belizeans.
Beyond the level, Belize has a local government system that includes two city councils and seven town councils. Belize City and Belmopan have their own councils with elected mayors and council members responsible for community level issues. For example, Bernard Wagner is the current mayor of Belize City, where he works with the team to handle infrastructure, public safety, and local development.
Um, Also, Belmopan's mayor Sharon, um, also known as Sharon Palacio, manages issues like city planning, road maintenance, and community events. Local governments are essential because they ensure citizens' voices are heard on everyday issues. Each council is elected every 3 years, providing regular opportunities for community members to influence local government.
So looking at our Belize's journey, it's clear, my bad, that our current government structure was hard earned from exclusionary colonial policies that only favored British settlers. Belizeans have fought for a system that represents everyone. Figures like Mr. Honorable George Cato Price, and current leaders like Mr. Johnny Briseño and Caroline Trench Sandiford have been crucial in moving us towards our fully representative democracy.
So, understanding how our government operates is essential for all Belizeans. Thanks for turning in. We hope you feel inspired to participate in our democracy and make your voice be heard.
Thank you so much. So your host for this podcast was myself, Adriani Morales, and Mrs. Edith Baita. Thank you for tuning with us, guys, and we hope you enjoyed.
Thank you, wonderful people, for tuning on today. We hope you enjoy and we're looking forward to see you in our next podcast. Remember, stay tuned and like the video.